Hello, welcome to another unboxing. This time it's the GeForce GTX 1080 Ti by Gigabyte, and this is their AORUS, their high-end overclocked version with the WINDFORCE 4 years warranty, DirectX 12, you name it. This is the one to give the Titan X a run for its money. And a substantial amount of money it costs as well. I've never spent this much on a graphics card before. I've bought this not for gaming now, I bought this for doing YouTube videos and things like that. Working with 4K is becoming quite a struggle with my, I've got a 780 GeForce graphics card. Let's start unboxing this. And with my new Ryzen build, I've got the 1800X. It's struggling. It's struggling. The bottleneck is definitely the GPU, and I think it can still be GPU bound with this. So let's see. So this actually went missing. This was meant to be delivered a week ago, and it turned up to date. And I must say, it turned up to date just like this, with a sticker on the front, with none of the usual Amazon packaging, which is a bit weird. And I didn't think I was going to get one for a while. It was a bit worrying. So this has got the 3 fans that can actually stop as well. It's got this heat spreader on the outside coming directly from the GPU. It's got the heat pipes, lots of customizable colour options, a strange HDMI which they say is for virtual reality, but it's on the inside of the card, so unless you're on a test bench, I don't know how you're going to use that. 12 plus 2 power phases. I mean, this is the bee's knees really, isn't it? So let's see what we get in the box. Nothing else to say about that much there. Right, here we go then. And AORUS is like their souped up version. I gather that it can be overclocked even more than it is using their software, so I might be giving that a go as well. So what do we get? Oh, got a rather nice badge. It looks a bit like metal, but it feels like plastic. I don't know if it's metal coated maybe. Feels quite thin. Not as nice as the Noctua one, put it that way, but that's still a nice thing to put on the old PC case, isn't it? What's this? So we get all the drivers, but you'd probably go straight to the website anyway, wouldn't you, and use that. But it'd be interesting to see about this overclocking software that's on there. Registration for 4 years care. Better do that. VR Link. Oh, here we are. Here's this thing about the VR Link. 1 front-facing and 2 rear native HDMI ports. The extra HDMI ports allow you to connect your VR device easily from the front of the PC while connecting up to 2 HDMI monitors at the same time, without having to swap cable or use any converters. Yeah, but one's on the inside of the card. Okay. Quick guide. Okay, so that's what's in there. Alright, what's this? Okay, so this is some sort of power supply adapter. Okay, right, in case you need that. I don't think many people will be needing that though. Right, so here it is. Well, not only is it the most expensive graphics card I've ever bought, it's also the biggest. What a beast. Right, so on first looks, there's connections obviously for the bottom. And look at that. Although it's too wide on there, I'd say it's nearly 3 times as wide as your average graphics card. And there's a DVI. Still put a DVI on there. Now the trouble with me is I've got 2 screens that are both DVI. They're 2K screens, so I'm going up in the world and putting 2 4K screens in now because of only having 1 DVI. I thought, well, I'm going to try these PC port things and see how that goes. Well, there we are. That's quite a substantial looking card, isn't it? The heat pipes in there, they're quite big. They're quite big heat pipes. This is a substantial card, alright. Oh, and I see this fan has actually got cutaways so it doesn't bump into the other one. I wonder how they implemented that. I just thought they just turned one upside down and or mounted the motor the other way, which they haven't done. No. That's quite clever. So it's got a metal casing on it. It's a very thin metal casing. It would be very easy to break this. But I still prefer having metal because that gives it more RFI resistance to either emitting it or receiving it. So you've got a fan stop warning there. I guess this is an LED. Wow. There's a lot packed into this card, my goodness. Okay, so there's the 2 power ins there, which look the same as my 780 was. There's another LED on the back here, really nice, which will actually be the top, won't it? Because when it's mounted in your PC, it will be like that, won't it? So this will be facing out. That's it. So it'll be like that. So it's got this, and I'd imagine these little fins, well, raised bumps, will be helping with airflow to keep that cooling going. But that's going to be right underneath my D115 cooler. I'm going to see how that fits in. And there is that HDMI. Bizarre. An HDMI port right on the inside. Apparently, I think the model before had 2 there. So at least they put 1 on the other side. But how the hell are you going to reach that if it's in a PC case? That's a strange place, isn't it? Well, there we are. So there is the new card. I think I'll just do a little bit more filming of me actually putting it in. And taking the old card out maybe. Just wondering if that looks bent there. Well, it's like no graphics card I've seen before, that's for sure. I thought my 780 was quite a beast, but that's quite a few years ago. And the 3500 odd is more than that. CUDA cores is what I really want it for, is for using with Adobe. So there we are, so that's the first quick look around the AORUS by Gigabyte. There we are. So there's my super clocked GeForce 780. Good service over the years. At the speed this stuff goes, it's completely out of date. And now I've got 2 DVI ports and 2 DVI screens that have all got to be replaced at the same time, making these rather nice exhaust DVI cables redundant now, which is a shame. There we are. So I've managed to fit the card. It was a bit of a squeeze. The worst thing for me was the power supplies, because they were actually inclined to go the opposite way round to what they have to go in here. So they've actually been inverted by 180 to fit, where the clip goes on the top, whereas on my old one it was the other way round. That nearly, it was a very, very tight fit. It nearly meant I had to take the whole thing to pieces to reroute that cable, but I just got away with it. So it's now fitted. It didn't give a reassuring click when it went in, so I hope it's seated alright, but you know, time will tell. We'll put the glass back on, fire it all up. It gave me a chance to check the RGBs as well, and they both work, but the header doesn't. I think a lot of people have been having the same problem as me. And I tried the tool for resetting the chip and it doesn't seem to want to run. So I don't know what to do. I've got RGB lights all the way around and they don't work. Well, they work for the first 2 days or whatever it was. Very, very annoying. Right then. I have now lost a rubber thingy. Great. So one rubber thing missing to hold this all together. Well, there we are. It took a while to get it fitted actually. The 2 power supplies that I had going in, there was no play in them whatsoever because they go behind and they're ribbon type ones. And this one, it clicks on the top part, not the bottom part. This is a much bigger card, and I had a little bit of fun trying to get them in, but eventually got there. I nearly had to take the whole thing to pieces to do it. So there it is running. So I have now got here, let's wait for that to focus. So I've now got here 2 new LG 4K screens, and I went for the model that's about 8 months ago. One because it's got the, let's turn that light in a minute, it's got the mains, you can see there, might be able to see on that one. It's got the mains going into the back. So there's the DVI, and then, oh, let's put night mode on. Just see that. There we go, that's better. So on the back of the screen there, where are we? So there's the display port, and it's got a mains cable. It hasn't got one of them hub things, and I wanted it that way. Much less fuss. Just plug it straight into the back of the screen, and it's about, I think it's about £100 cheaper than the new model. And I mean, these are 4K 60 Hz, and for my 4K editing it's ideal, just what I need. So I say I bought this AORUS card not really for gaming, and I might play a Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 on it if it can handle it. It's mainly for video editing. So at the moment I've got it up and running, and the fans aren't even on. And you can see the fan stop sign there. So just ticking over on Windows is not doing any chores at the moment. I've just uploaded some video. That's done. I've just saved some to the computer. So I've got some 4K stuff. So if I run a 4K video, let's see what happens there. Do not show me this message again, for goodness sake. I'll put all the meters on one side and right, there we go. So this is a 4K video playing on that screen at the moment. Quite enough, look better. It's sharper looking, that's the main difference. Yeah, it's a little bit sharper. This was just with my little action cam. And there's a pile of food there, I'm waiting for some birds to land. So that is putting absolutely, I mean, well, no strain on it whatsoever. Let's try YouTube video. Same sort of thing now, isn't it really? I can't render anything right at this moment. I haven't got anything ready. So here's my Horror Crypt video from Mesbulan. This went live. It's doing quite well. So here it is playing in 4K. And what sort of loads? I mean, even the chip isn't on its full. It's not even going up to 3.6. And it does overclock slightly. That Ryzen to about 3.71, 3.72. But I think it's only on one core. So at the moment it's hovering around 3 gigs. About 5% usage. Okay, you can make that out. And here on the power and cooling, I mean the usage spiked when it first came on, but it's virtually nothing whatsoever on that load. So I say it's early days. You know, I don't think I'm going to have any trouble with it. But basically, let's just turn that sound off. But basically, just running 4K. Absolutely. Oh, it's changed colour slightly. So I've got it on low temperature. I've got it on set at the moment, just so I can keep an eye on it when all things are new. Because I might be on here. You can overclock it even more. So this is the plug-in that comes with it. Let's turn that video off a minute. Stop that a moment. Put this on the main screen. There we go. So this is the software that comes with it. You've got quite a few nice tools here and meters. So you can see the clock, the memory clock, GPU volume, fan speed. Oh, I see. Oh, fan speed percent, fan speed RPM, GPU temperature. It's running at about 40, 42 at the moment. PWR, GPU usage, about 1%. CPU usage, next to nothing. Memory usage, about 34% there. So it's quite a nice little screen. So then you can change the LEDs. So I've got it monitoring GPU temperature, but look, if we change it here, we can do, let's do breathing, for example. There we go. Go over there, and it's breathing. I wish the RGB in the ASUS Hero 6 was working like this. What a shame. And when I had the glass off, I did just check to see if those RGBs, those 50/50 lights that I've got 2 instances of inside the case, are working, and I've just powered them up and they're fine. So the problem is on the board. As I say, I know people have been talking quite a lot about it. I tried the tool to reset the internal chip, but wasn't having it. Right, so you can even set the colours here. I mean, let's just take you over here while I mess around with that. So right up to the red end of the spectrum and all the way down. Let's try that blue, apply that blue. There we go. Let's do a pink. There we go. Let's go down to a greenish colour, cyan. And there's a brightness and a speed of the breathing. So that breathing, that is the fastest that the breathing will go at the moment. And I can slow that right down. This is the slowest it can go. It's rather nice. It's got some other strange ones, like flashing. I mean, I don't know who would want that on. That's just annoying, isn't it? And dual flashing. I can't understand why anyone would want that. Monitoring. There we go, on temperature. Audio flashing. Oh, so I need to put some audio up. Quickly finding some audio. Let's go to Mesmoland, that's a good place to go, isn't it? Let's go to that popular video there. Scariest ghost train in the world. Enable the sound. Well, Okay, it's not music, but so I would have it on circling or monitoring or breathing, I think would be the ones for me. So I'm gonna put it on breathing, and I'm gonna put on multicolor and apply. And I put the breathing speed on really slow, and that's the brightness on max. If we turn the brightness down, so it's its lowest, and that's its highest. So it doesn't seem. Oh, I see. You have to apply it to get it to work. So lowest. Oh, that's weird. It's just sort of flickering if you put it on the lowest. If I put my head in the way, there's a shadow there. That's a bit weird, isn't it? Turn the brightness up a bit. Apply. Oh, I see. And apply. Oh, that's strange. The brightness is changing the speed. That must be a bit of a glitch in the programming error. So I'm definitely doing the brightness one, not the speed. Well, there's not much more to say really than there it is. Here's my new screens. Excellent. So everything seems to be alright. If there's any problems I run into, I'll let you know. My only real problem was just fitting the thing, getting the power supplies fitted onto it. It booted up nice and easy, put the driver in, no problem. Oh, there was one problem. I'm using DVI for the first time, and there's 3 DVIs on the back, and because of the, I don't know if you can see the cable running here. That's one of them. This is a 2-meter cable, and it only just makes it. The other one's not so bad, but the one furthest away only just stretches over to there. So I thought I'd put it in DVI DisplayPort 3, and the other one in DisplayPort 2. And it was only doing the HDCP on one screen. And I was messing around with all the settings, and I just couldn't work out what was wrong. I'll show you. What I mean, just to make sure I've got the right word, HDCP or whatever it's called. Category. Yes, on this. So on this here, graphics card and display are HDCP capable, which I think in itself is some sort of way of stopping you recording things. And I went to the second one, and then it said it wasn't, which was ridiculous because I've got 2 screens, exactly the same screen. And I found that I had to put the plugs in DisplayPort 1 and 2, and then they were fine. Now they work. If I put it in 2 and 3, only one of them works, which is rather bizarre. And that's after turning the computer off and rebooting it as well. So, there we are. They would have just made a little bit extra space because obviously the third display port one is a bit closer this way, and it would just give me a bit more room. But anyway, there we are. So my Ryzen build has now had the ultimate upgrade with a truly expensive graphics card. For my video rendering, for my CUDA cores. There's one very happy computer there buzzing away in the corner. If I could get the RGBs to work on the Hero 6, then everything would be tickety-boo. But I've got the fans on the outside. Let's just turn off the overhead light here. A bit darker. So there it is. So there we are, cup of coffee at the ready. I'm about to do some video rendering here for a Nonsensical Child channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.